Still in the beginner case today. If you haven't seen this case setup, I did it in the previous video. Go and have a look in the card in the corner if that's for you. If you've already seen that, then what I want to do today is I just want to demonstrate a slightly more advanced technique that I like to use in small cases like this. And it's a combination of the way I play Steppy and modulate Mimetic here. Now I do it in a performance way so that I get some really nice variations coming through from Mimetic here. So what I'll do is I'll demo it and pay close attention to what you see going on here. You'll see this jumping around and it's all to do with the X input. But if you're not sure, don't worry about it. If you like what you hear and you want to learn the technique, I'll explain it after the video. Okay, so let's take a listen and then we'll go through it. Okay, if that didn't make any sense, then I will explain what's going on. Right, so let's just kick this off, and first of all, I'm just going to take, so output C here is modulating the X. So let's go to track C, and then you can see all the places where we are modulating X. So let's turn those off, and then let's start the patch. So there was a kick going off screen. There's no kick at the moment. We've just got a bit of reverb going on here. That's everything. And then a little bit of a bassline melody going on here. So let's go back to track A. Track A is our main trigger going into BIA here. And as you can see, Mimetic is just playing through 16 steps here. Now, if I want to reset, or if I want to just skip X, let's go on to output C here, and let's just skip one of the X's. So the first note here, every time we hit the first note, you'll just see it skip. Just skips one note. And then as we add more of these in, start seeing it skip more. Now that's regular. Let's add one extra. Just see how that, as that skips, it's always like skipping forwards and backwards there on the third row. Now we can make use of that. If we go into loopy mode here, and because of this one, it's going to skip X every time. So if I press this, and then go back onto track A. So A is actually triggering the BIA and it's going to trigger an X. So if I hit the X on this one, that's just skipping backwards and forwards between two notes. Do it the same here. That's lower notes. Now if I do it on any one of these, I'm not 100% sure why on this patch, but it actually triggers all the way through all of these green notes here. Do I hit an orange? Or a green? So if you just time that right as you're playing, that's really performative. Trigger it before you hit the kick. And that's all I was doing here. But you can see that just a little press here, so because we're in loopy mode, it will just repeat this one note, which then triggers the X. If we just hit it on a green, it loops through all these green notes. But if we hit an orange, it's just playing those two. Now, I'm not 100% certain why, but that's the beauty of Mimetic Digitalis. Plug things in, trigger things, you end up with nice repeating patterns. And that's the advanced technique that I wanted to show you. Do I understand it 100%? Not really. Do I care? Again, not really. As long as it sounds good performative, that's all that matters. Now, there's lots of other techniques that I use here. You can trigger the Y on maybe a different channel and then use different notes here. So you could have maybe, we could use track D and then trigger certain notes on track D that hit track Y, and then we'll start triggering this direction. But it really allows some really good playability in your triggers and the CV that you've got going on. So just if you're interested in the CV that's going on here, so we have one CV going into here, which is being split between the harmony on BIA, which is giving us a little bit more of like a melody going on, and the second one is going into our Javelin accent. So let's just take the accent out. So that's Mimetic channel A. It makes a big difference. So the accent here on Javelin just allows the filter to open up extra. If we take the harmony out, that still sounds good. It's more of a bass line. And then channel 2 is coming through here, and this is going into the saturation. So let's just take the saturation of the filter off. Back on. Again, that's just allowing a little bit more through the filter. Channel 3 is going into the attack. So this will, let's take this out. So you can hear that because the attack's a long way down here, if we just open up the filter. With BIA, when the attack is turned down, it gives you more of a hit, sort of a hat, so sort of noise is allowed through there. So by modulating the attack, we can just allow noise through when we want. It kind of gives you a free hi-hat. And then channel D is modulating uScale here, which is just giving us a little bit of a bass line. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that quick one. A little one on Mimetic. I've probably got about another 5 or 6 techniques that I like to use this with, but yeah, that's just one of the nice simple ones that I like to use. So if you're interested in a more in-depth on Mimetic, that's something that I'm looking at doing in future. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Just a quick one tonight, and I'll see you in the next one.